Most people believe that if they tried to get in shape and failed, it's their fault. They didn't have enough discipline. They didn't have enough willpower. They didn't have enough motivation. They didn't want it badly enough. But what if that's not true? What if the real reason so many people struggle with fitness is not because they failed the system? It's because the system failed them. And what if the problem isn't you, but the way fitness has been designed, marketed, and delivered for decades? Today on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast
with Garrett Williamson.
Health, wellness, exercise, nutrition, and a whole lot more. Got questions? Call us and leave a message at 251-278-EDGE or message us at Personal Edge Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, at Team PE on Twitter, or personaledgefitness.com.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. I'm Garrett Williamson, president of Personal Edge Fitness, and as always, we are here to talk about health, fitness, longevity, and pushing it back against what I call the lie of age, the ridiculous concept that time passing on a calendar actually causes deterioration. At Personal Edge Fitness, we see something very different every day. We see people of all ages, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and even into their 90s improving, getting stronger, moving better, feeling more confident. We believe your level of ability is determined by four things: fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, and the most important, which is mindset, not your age. And today, we're going to talk about something that I think is one of the most damaging beliefs in the fitness world. The idea that if you have struggled with fitness, you've failed. Today, we're talking about the lie of fitness failure. The story most people believe. Let's start with what most people think. They try to get in shape. They join a gym. They start a program. They commit for a few weeks, maybe even a few months. And then, as always, something happens. Well, they stop. And the story they tell themselves is, I just couldn't stick with it. I don't have the discipline. I've never been good at this. And over time, that story becomes an identity. I'm just not someone who works out. But what if that's not the truth? What if the real issue isn't that people fail fitness, but that fitness has been designed for the wrong audience? Because if you look closely at most fitness environments, they are built for people who are already in shape or people who have a lot of confidence. Built definitely for people who enjoy exercise, and definitely even more so, people who understand what they're doing. But what about everyone else? What about the person who is intimidated? What about the person who is really out of shape? What about somebody that's uncertain, or if they're recovering from injury, or simply they don't even enjoy exercise or enjoy exercise yet? Here's a personal example. Let me share something from my own experience here. I'm a hawking 5 foot 6 inches tall and about 165 pounds now. But when I was in high school, I was 5'4" and I weighed less than 130 pounds. And at that time, I was already having success. By my sophomore year, I'd won 2 state championships in pole vaulting and was just a few months shy from setting my first state record. So on paper, you'd look at that and say, this is a high-level athlete. But here's what most people don't know. I didn't touch a weight, not once. Not because I didn't think it would help, but because I was completely intimidated walking into a weight room. I didn't know how to use the equipment. I didn't know what exercises to do. I didn't know what anything actually did. And I didn't want to look like I didn't belong. So instead of learning, I just avoided it. It wasn't until I got to the University of Georgia running track there that I finally started lifting weights. Now think about that. Even as someone having success as an athlete, I still felt intimidated enough to avoid something that I knew would help me. So when someone walks into a fitness facility for the first time and feels out of place, that's not weakness. That's normal. Have me walk in to an auto shop with all the great equipment and drive my 69 Firebird in there. Yeah, I'd be intimidated because I have no idea how to use all that equipment or what exactly to do. That's not weakness. That's absolutely normal. Let me show you what the research shows. A study published in Health Psychology in 2017 found that one of the biggest barriers to exercise adherence is not physical ability. It's psychological discomfort and intimidation. People don't stop because they can't do the workout. They stop because they don't feel like they belong. Here's another study in the Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology in 2014 showed that environments that support autonomy encouragement, and competence dramatically increase long-term adherence. Simple terms, people stick with fitness when they feel supported, capable, and not judged. And a third major review in The Lancet in 2012 showed that despite overwhelming evidence of the benefits of exercise, global adherence remains low. Not because people don't know exercise is important, but because systems fail to support behavior change. The real problem, most fitness programs are built around intensity. Push harder, do more, go faster, burn more calories. But intensity without sustainability, well, it doesn't last. And when it doesn't last, people blame themselves. Okay, let's look at what I call the all or nothing trap. Let's look at it again. Just like with nutrition, fitness often becomes all or nothing. People typically think, if I can't do it perfectly, why do it at all? So they go from working out 5 days a week to not moving at all. And that swing is what creates inconsistency. What actually works? Well, the people who succeed long-term don't do the most extreme programs. They do the most consistent ones. First thing, they show up. And if you're intimidated, you're not going to show up. So first, they show up. Even when they don't feel like it. Even when it's not perfect. Even when it's not their best workout. They just keep going. Here's the Personal Edge difference. At Personal Edge Fitness, we've built everything around one core idea. Make fitness sustainable. That means meeting people where they are. It's your program. It's not ours. Not where we think they should be. We meet them where they are. And then slowly help progress gradually, not overwhelming them. Creating an environment where people feel comfortable, encouraged, and above all, capable. Because when people feel capable, they continue. So instead of saying, I failed fitness, we need to change the story. We need to change it to, I haven't found the right system yet. Because fitness isn't about finding the hardest program. It's not about doing what your friend did that was successful. It's about finding the one you can stay with. This ties, as always, directly back to the lie of age. The lie of age being the ridiculous concept that time passing on a calendar actually causes deterioration. Because what people often believe is, I used to be active, but now I'm older. But what really happened is life got busier. It's lifestyle. Movement decreased. That's fitness. Structure disappeared. Lifestyle again. And therefore consistency faded. And over time, that creates decline. Over time, that starts affecting mindset. This is caused not by age. It's caused by disuse. Remember, you didn't fail fitness. Fitness, as it's commonly designed, failed you. But that doesn't mean you can't succeed. It means you need a different approach, one that is sustainable, one that meets you where you are, one that you can continue for years, not just weeks. Because long-term success in fitness isn't built on perfection. It's built on consistency. And helping you find that consistency is just one more way we help you reach your level of wellness. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Subscribe now and be a part of the show by calling 251-278-EDGE or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Personal Edge Fitness or at Team PE on Twitter, and visit us at personaledgefitness.com.
Did you know only 22% of 8th graders are proficient in civics? It's a statistic that affects all our futures. But Alabama's Liberty Learning Foundation is changing the headlines. We partner with schools to go beyond the textbook, teaching civics, character, and financial literacy in a way that empowers students to make a real impact in their own communities. Help Liberty Learning Foundation build the leaders Alabama needs. Join the movement today at libertylearning.org.